Hello. So it all began with a notebook my mother handed me. She told me she found it while cleaning out the closet. This old notebook, covered with mold, was a diary that belonged to my grandfather, who passed away years ago. It contained his distant memories? Something? I don't know. I didn't catch it. I wonder if you still remember how we first met and our many adventures. It all seemed like a dream. We ran like the wind during those warm summer days long ago. You were a piece of a star that fell from the sky. I can still relive the memories of those days long past, just by closing my eyes like so and whispering your name into the desolate night. Kid. 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 Hey, kid. Are you ready, kid? I know you're anxious, but stay on your toes. Yeah, likewise, mate. You messed up, and I'm leaving you behind. Got that, Surge? Come on, McGill. Let's go. That bastard Lynx is gonna get what he deserves. Say your prayers. Not that it'll do you any good. Looks good to me, I guess. I'm Surge, huh? We'll just stay as Surge, I guess. The old lady's tip-off was right on the money. The counterspell on the barrier around the outer walls could have done a real number on us. Kid's plain, unadorned braid flicked back and forth across her shoulders as she walked. We picked our way through the elaborate lattice of the manor's magic shields, moving in closer and closer to Lord Link's stronghold. There were 3 of us, Kid, Magil, and me. I guess it must have been 3 years already since I first met Kid. Back then, I was just a wandering musician, traveling wherever my feet would take me, and wherever a few tunes would play for a warm bed. It was in the Outlands, in a town called Rigora, where we first ran across one another, and since then she dragged me along on a whole bunch of adventures, and misadventures too. Ah, Kid. She was a thief. And not just any thief. Just a few months shy of 17 and already renowned as one of the realm's greatest. What's more, she was exceedingly beautiful, stylish, a joy to be around, and a dab hand at campsite cooking, or she liked to claim. Truth was a little different. Those bandits with hearts of gold you've heard about in stories, the ones who steal from the rich to give to the poor, yeah, that wasn't Kid style. She was short-tempered, prone to lying, bossy, and obsessed with money. Rarely did she care to listen to a single word anyone said to her. But she wasn't all bad. Probably. Maybe. Sometimes. She had her moments anyway. I glanced over my shoulder to see a shadow hovering behind us, blending into the darkness like smoke. Maggle, also known as Maggle the Shade. He was Kid's partner, but even after 3 years I still knew hardly anything about him. All I knew was that he was around 30 years old and not much of a talker, but he was one heck of a mage. I heard that he and the Kid had started working together way before I met her. He always covered the top half of his face with a mask, and I'd never seen what he looked like underneath. He was a man so mysterious that it sometimes seemed like he was an interloper from another world. It wasn't like Kid was exactly big on details about her past, but Maggle? He might as well not have one at all. And Kid didn't seem to know much about her partner in crime either. What kind of man he was, what kind of life he'd lived before, nothing. You might ask how exactly I would wound up being a part of this merry band. Well, it's complicated. I guess you could say that life doesn't always turn out the way you think it will. Kid, who was heading up our little raiding party, suddenly stopped dead. Look lively, boys. We've got company. We glanced around. Wearily as cold, cruel eyes emerged from the darkness. I heard a low growl. Dark shadows prowled through the night surrounding us. A pack of wildcats. There must have been about 10 of them. A thrill of a life ran down my spine. Thrill of fear. Flustered, I pulled my knife from my belt. Kid calmly shifted into a fighting stance. Watch yourselves. I don't reckon these buggers been treated for rabies. The wildcats snarled and growled as they slowly closed in on us, drawing the noose tighter and tighter. Their eyes glinted in the darkness like fireflies, and strings of eager spittle dripped wetly to the ground. Then one of them sent an almighty roar soaring to the moon, and the hunt was on. What was I gonna do? I guess that's what we're doing. Think fast. Kid dived into the thick pack of wild cats and gave the largest of their number an almighty kick in the chops. The startled beast gave a yelp as it was sent flying. I turned to my right to see that a nearby wildcat was charging toward me, its head lowered menacingly. Panicked, I tried to make a last-second dodge, but I wasn't quite fast enough. Its claws scraped against my side as it rushed past me. Nigga! No, my bad. I winced in pain for a moment, then turned to face my foe and readied myself. I tried to use magic, but I didn't know any spells. Well then, why would you give me that? By pure reflex, I shielded my face with my arm. With intense pain shot through me from wrist to shoulder. The wildcat tried to sink its fang in deeper, but his grip was poor. I shook it off and gave it a kick for good measure, sending it running back into the pack. Surge behind you. Panicked by Kid's warning, I whirled wildly around and came face to face with a pair of eyes blazing like hellfire. I attacked. By reflex, I ducked the attack, swiping through the air directly over my head. I felt its hot breath on my cheek as it flew by me. At the same time, I thrust my knife upward, plunged it into the beastly's belly. With a horrible cry of agony, the wildcat crashed face first into the ground. But I lost my balance in the chaos and fell down in a heap as well. I rolled over and I was only just able to stagger back to my feet before readying myself for my next opponent. I was breathing heavily, The handle of my knife was slick with sweat, and I tightened my grip. With a kick like a bolt of lightning, Kid landed a clean hit on the flank of a nearby wildcat. It staggered before losing its footing, but I letting out a pathetic cry, but Kid was already moving in to finish it off. And then the roar of fire. A burning smell filled my nostrils, and next to me, a shrill screech pierced the air. I didn't sign up for all this reading. I didn't know it was going to be like this. Maggle's fire spell engulfed the head of a nearby wildcat. It fled, darted off into the darkness like an arrow. I scanned the area. Only moments ago we had been surrounded, but now there wasn't a single wildcat left. Kid and Maggle had either sent the rest off with their tails between their legs or paid to them once and for all. Ha! You're dreaming if you think a pack of old flea-bitten monkeys is gonna stop us, Lynx. Kid crossed her arms and flashed a defiant grin. Meanwhile, I was panting heavily, and it felt like my legs were about to give out from under me. I collapsed to my knees, overwhelmed by what I'd just been through. Phew. I'd taken a few hits, but I was fine otherwise. A couple of scars to talk about later, maybe, but nothing that would stop me carrying on. Are you hurt? Magel looked down at me, his face expressionless as ever. No worries, Mag. You'll be right, said Kid, barging in, getting a better look at me. You may be a whinging sook, but it'll take a few more scratches to kill this one. She was nothing if not sympathetic, but she was right. This was no time to be bemoaning my lot. We hadn't even reached the manor yet. I dabbed at my wounds with a tincture-soaked cloth and wrapped them with bandages. Then I looked up at the other two. We're just getting started. I grinned back, putting a brave face on things. That's what I like to hear, Kid cheerily announced from close quarters. But then her eyes turned cold, like the cool glow of the moon in the night sky. It's gonna be a long night. I nodded, trying my hardest not to utterly lose myself in her pale blue eyes. Alright, let's get this show back on the road. She turned away and marched off, deeper into the trees, without looking behind to see if me and Maggle were following her. Maggle, of course, was already right behind her, his unhurried gait making it seem as though nothing much had happened at all. I jumped back up to my feet to chase after them. I'd be in even more trouble than I'd bargained for if I got separated from them. The dark forest inside the manor's perimeter seemed to go on forever, a labyrinth of trees and boulders. The manor itself loomed in the distance, glowering over the vast grounds, and hidden within was a veritable mountain of treasure just waiting for us. Lord Lynx was the noble who ruled the remote territory of Regoria. He was also Kid's mortal enemy. We were there that night to steal a certain jewel he kept locked away in his most closely guarded vault, the Frozen Flame. The Frozen Flame was veiled in mystery. It was said to be imbued with an uncanny energy and possessed of a beauty and clarity that made it priceless treasure. Countless thieves had tried to steal it, and not one of them had become close to succeeding. nor had any of them escaped the manor alive. And now it was our turn to try and sneak into the place of death. Led by a girl who had the ambition to make the impossible possible, a hunger for vengeance that drove her onward, and a desire for riches that could never be satisfied. As we pressed on through the tree-filled darkness, the shadows gave way at last, revealing the true extent of the vast mansion. Finally, say your prayers, Lynx, 'cause we're coming for yous. Keeping to the overgrowth and the shadows of the trees, we made our way through the manor walls in search of means of entry. Eventually, we came to a terrace overlooking the garden. There were no sign of any guards nearby. The only thing surrounding the manor was an uncanny stillness. This will lead us straight into the west wing. Just as well, we don't have any business in the rest of the manor tonight, said Mago, gazing up at the dark building towering over us in the night. All right then, what are we waiting for? With that, Kid made to vault over the railing of the terrace. Stop, Mago hissed sharply. Remember what we're here for. Our main target is the vault and the frozen flame within it. We focus on this above all else. Your vengeance is of secondary concern. Agreed? Glancing over her shoulder, Kid replied with a reluctant, yeah, don't get your knickers in a twist. But if we happen to run into him, I'm gonna knock that Drongo's block off, and neither you or anybody else is gonna stop me. I guess Kid was going to get her way whether we liked it or not. Let's go, boys. The night is young. She cleared the railing with a springily hop and vanished inside the manor. I glanced toward Mango and noticed in silence. We followed Kid's lead and were soon inside Lord Lynx's lair. The darkness swallowed us whole. A corridor stretched off the left and right from the terrace. It seemed equally dark and chilly in both directions. If I don't pick, is it going to pick for me? I don't like that. You got to give me time to think. I mean, guess it doesn't really matter. Right or left? Right or left? Guess we'll go with right. Actually, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright. This game better switch up here soon. I did not think it was going to be this much reading. And I've played the original Chrono Cross. And there's nothing like this. So we're going to go right. We pressed on through the darkness, down corridors that turned and twisted, snake-like, this way and that. Everything around us was still and silent. It felt strangely like we were being watched. It was countless eyes. We continued, creepily cautious down the corridors. Kid moved proudly and stealthily like a cat stalking its prey, while in the shadow magic followed, gliding swiftly and silently. You're not giving me enough time, game. I can barely read, as it is. A short way along the corridor, running from the right-hand side of the terrace, we find an ancient-looking door again on our right. Kid pressed an ear against it, listening for any signs of life. Dead quiet. Don't reckon there's anybody in there. Let's open the door. We go in. Kid stilled her breath and reached for the handle. The door wasn't locked. It swung slowly open. What's this room supposed to be? Place is a dump. Kid had poked her head in through the door, taking a quick peek to see if there was anyone inside, and was disappointed by what she found. The room was large and littered with peculiar-looking machinery and knickknacks, all of which were covered in dust and had seemingly been dumped there haphazardly. Everything looked like it had been there rusting for a very long time. I always thought it was haphazardly, as in like you're only halfway cautious or non-cautious. Haphazardly, huh? Learn something new every day. The ends of the room were completely dark, and it was impossible to tell just how big it was, or even what the walls and floor looked like. It seemed the manor's inhabitants had turned the old clock tower into a makeshift storage space some time ago. I stepped warily inside. Leave that alone. I looked over toward Maxwell and saw a kid trying to pull something from the shadows. It was a huge sword that appeared to be very old indeed. You don't need that, old bludgeon. It'll only get in the way. And as much of an antique as it is, it won't fetch much on the market in that condition. Yeah, reckon it might, you know. There's plenty of collectors who just love old bits of junk. Well, some old bits of junk. Pouting, the kid left the sword where she stood. At least she put it back down gently. It was then we heard a voice from the shadows. What exactly are you doing here, I just about jumped out of my skin. Who's there? Kid and Magel turned to face the voice, ready for a fight. Oh, wizened crone emerged from the shadows. She was hunched over and wore a hood draped over her face. I could tell at a glance that she wasn't just old, she was positively ancient. It's just some dowdery old bag. What do you think her doing, sneaking up on us like that? Kid's shoulders relaxed as the tension left her body. Magel, however, continued to give the woman a piercing stare. Oh, what an impish-looking little thing you are. Here to visit a friend, perhaps? Not in the dead of night, I suspect. The crone narrowed her eyes. Let's get a closer look at ya. Ah, yes. You must be here to get your revenge on Lynx. How did she... My heart jumped. She seemed to know exactly who we were. We were in trouble. What if she sounded the alarm? We'd have to give up on the treasure and run for our lives. What we're gonna do? To finally tell her she was right. Play dumb. Just pretend we didn't hear her. Just pretend we didn't hear her. Sorry, what was that? Could have sworn you said something, but you couldn't make head or tail of it. There must have been some gunk in my ears or something. Kid launched into a decidedly over-the-top pretense that she hadn't heard what the old woman had said. But what a perfect evening it is for such adventures, huh? Have you seen the moon? Marvelous, just marvelous. Now cease your clumsy fluctuations, I don't know what that word is, and give me a straight answer, dear. You're here for vengeance, aren't you? Against the lord of the manor, such as he is. Answer truthfully, I will not ask a third time. Yeah, that's fine. So what if we were... What's it to you if we're here to get our revenge on an old Lynxy boy? You gonna do something about it? Ha ha ha, you never change, do you? Crone chuckled madly, her small frame shaking. Ah, the boldness of youth. Yes, that's the spirit. You what? Kid looked at the crone, completely confused. I was no less mystified. What the heck are you going on about? Oh, it must have been 4 or 5 years ago. Yes, it was around then that an innocent young thief stole into the manor, looking to singe Lord Lynx's whiskers. She couldn't have been much older than 10. Now that I think about it, shocked, my gaze turned to Kid. A wet glint had appeared in Kid's eyes. Alright. A wet glint had appeared in Kid's eyes, but her glare was like ice. Certainly felt as if the temperature in the room had suddenly dropped below freezing. With a chuckle, the crone continued her story, pretending not to have noticed the change in mood. She was an orphan, you know. Came after Lynx to avenge a woman who loved her like her own daughter. How do narrators narrate like an audiobook? I'd have to like stop. I couldn't just continue to read without making mistakes. Alright, but all the vengefulness in the world couldn't change the fact that she was only a little girl. She was no match for Lynx's men, sadly, and they quickly captured her. Lynx is the kind of man one would fear to have for an ally. Never mind a foe. Had it not been for the timely assistance of a friend of hers, the girl would have certainly been executed. The way the people of the manor told it, the very shadows pitied the girl and rushed in to spirit her away. I wonder how much of the tale could be true. I have nothing but sympathy for those who know failure, of course. You can't win all the time. And sometimes, against all the odds, fate really can be foiled and the clockwork of history sent into disarray. No, the ones I have no patience for are those who do not recognize their failure, or who fail and choose to give up as a result. The crone looked up from under her hood, stared Kid directly in the face, and grinned. Kid's anger faded, giving way to a dumbfounded expression. If you wish to steal the jewel from Lynx, if you truly wish to triumph, you will have to let go of a treasure of your own, kid. For as long as you cling on to it, the hands of your clock will never move. They'll stay exactly where they came to rest all those years ago. Who are you? Oh, me. Why, I'm just an old bag, like you said. I do apologize. I must have taken up a lot of your time with all my babbling. I'll leave you in peace. Oh, but before I go, the crone turned to face me. You seem to be injured, young man. If you wish, I can take a look at your wounds. With all the attention suddenly turned toward me, I panicked a little. Alright then, please do. Alright then, please do. Crone muttered a few words as her bony fingers drew sigils in the air. A pale, gentle light began to surround my body, filling me with a strange warmth. Strike a light. That's no ordinary spell. Kid was impressed. I felt my wounds healing and heard a nostalgic melody that soothed the wounds in my heart. Before I realized it, the crone was gone. Hey lady. Kid strained her eyes, scanning the darkness, but there was no one to be seen, and her calls went unanswered. Who the bloody heck was that? Kid looked like she'd just woken up on the floor of the Laughing Pig after a few too many. Now what did she mean about you having to let go of a treasure? Well, we won't find any answers here. Time to move on. Agile brought us back down to earth, emotionless as always. It almost seemed as if he thought nothing had happened at all. Yeah, I guess you're right. Kid walked quickly to the door, keen to move on. Hold it, you. Just as I was about to follow Kid out of the room, she jabbed me in the side with her elbow. You stingy little bugger, Surge. Why didn't you tell her to share some of that healing magic with the rest of us? Classic Kid. The door led back into the corridor, which stretched off to the left and right. Rightward lay the depths of the manor, while the other way left led back to the terrace. Well, let's go to the manor. Continuing on down the corridor, we came across a rather sturdy-looking door on our left. A little further on stood a stairway leading upward. Well, this door is clearly meant to keep something safe. If there ain't some kind of treasure behind it, my name ain't Kid. Yep. That's the smell of cold, hard cash. All right, she muttered to herself as she began to inspect the door more closely. Let's go inside. Wow, what am I, stupid? Of course it's bloody locked. Kid had tried the door handle a few times before giving it a grumpy kick. Bloody door's got a magic barrier on it, and the bloody barrier's got a barrier of its own to boot. It'll take more than me putting the boot in it to get through all that. That's one hell of a sentence. Bloody door's got a magic barrier on it, and the bloody barrier's got a barrier of its own to boot. It'll take more than me putting the boot in it to get through all that. That's a fun sentence. I see. Then unless we find the key, we don't have a hope of getting inside. Reckon I can handle a key hunt, especially if it's the idiot Lynx who's hidden it. If we can find his room, I'll sniff it out in 2 seconds flat. You just watch. There's a little more we could do here, so we decided to look elsewhere. The corridor ended at the foot of some stairs. With Kid in the lead, we headed upwards. It was dark and the stairwell was narrow. We watched our footing carefully as we climbed. The stone of the steps was worn smooth with age, and I lost count of how many there were as we spiraled onward and upward. An awful sense of foreboding haunted me. I had no idea why, but it felt as though we were marching to the gallows. When we arrived at the top of the stairs, we were greeted by an old, heavy door looming in the silence. All was deathly silent, and the still, clammy air added to the sense of ominous apprehension. Something's very wrong here, I muttered without thinking. I hear cursed whispers from beyond the door, Nigel added, doing nothing to lift the mood. Grow up, will ya? The kid shot back at us. She was already examining the door. Well, it ain't locked, and I don't hear anyone inside. Well, we're here. Let's go inside. Alright, here goes. Kid tried the handle. The door opened, and with a slow, heavy swing, revealed what lay beyond. It was a small, cylindrical room that appeared to be the inside of one of those stone towers. It was completely deserted, and there were no windows. What's this supposed to be? Something about this plane gives me the creeps. Still standing in the doorway, Kid seemed suddenly taken aback. There might be something in here. Let's take a closer look. Closer look at a bloody empty room. Pa might as well, I guess. We did climb all those stairs. Kid stepped through the door, grumbling under her breath. I scanned the room and then noticed something on the floor. The flagstones were covered in dozens of narrow scratches, and in places there were thick black stains. Something in the stains spoke of a horror that no amount of scrubbing would ever wash away, a malice and a sadness beyond imagining. There's something written here. Crouching in front of the wall, Magil was inspecting some brownish markings that looked like more of the same stains. Someone's carved letters into the wall and Old scrambled them using blood magic. It had gone over to take a look. Looks pretty old. Hard to read, too. Some of it's been worn away. Let's see. Cannot hold out much longer. My only hope is to leave the Arcanian signet in this room. The Arcanian signet? Suddenly the door slammed shut. We jumped to our feet with a start. From above us, we heard an unsettling creaking sound. The walls and floors began to tremble. What the hell's going on? Kid's eyes darted around the room as she desperately tried to figure out what was happening. The creaking sound from above continued and the ceiling moved ominously closer. Up there. We've walked right into a bloody trap, Kid bit her lip. We've got to do something and fast. We don't have time to sit and think about it. What was I going to do? Surge, Kid shrink bring into the ears and then shrunk the edge of one of the descending blades sliced into my forehead. There was no time. What were we going to do? Try to smash down the wall. Good idea. There gotta be a hidden door or something somewhere. Kid. Panicked, we tried thumping the walls to see what we could find. But all we came against was solid, unyielding soul. Shit. The edge of the descending blade sliced through my forehead. Tried to stop. Right. We need to stop the ceiling. But how? I have no idea. There was a hidden switch somewhere. Panicked, we brushed our hands against the floor and wall to see if anything had. Nope. Kid sprang at the door like an arrow slammed into a shoulder first. You know, they could give me a little more time to choose. That would be great. Or they should just choose the one that I'm already on. Anyway, but it was far too heavy and her light flame bounced right off of it. Damn it. Vigil raced toward the door like the wind smashed into a furious force. It made a creaking sound and shook from the impact, but stood firm. Desperately, I hurled myself at it too. I'm not saying that word again. The shock of the impact rushed through my body, but it was no good. Meanwhile, the rusty creaking above continued, as did the ceiling's inexorable journey downward. And to make matters worse, now countless blades were popping in and out. So to measure, this is gonna take the three of us. Timing our blows, we all charged the door at once. Twice, a third time. And then the door was open, and we collapsed in a heap in the corridor outside. What? Behind us, we heard the sound of the blazing ceiling grinding on the stone floor of the tower room. The metallic scraping noise it made was awful. We could only look on in silent horror at the fate we so nearly evaded. The machinery continued for a short while before slowly coming to a stop. It seemed the ceiling trap had finally finished its grisly work. Bugger me. Talk about a nasty surprise. It was in some sort of execution chamber. Agile continued, seeming to be deep in thought. In any case, that writing mentioned Achaea. What could that be? If the word scrambled. Sayaka? I don't know. Well, what was all of that about, I asked. The Kaya Dragoons, the elite knightly order serving General Viper, who once governed the territory of Galesburg to the west. Former knightly order, I should say. They were wiped out more than a decade ago by the lord of this very manor, no less. Uh-huh. Thanks for the history lesson, Mag. Kid rose to her feet, patting off the dust. Too bad we're not here for fairy tale nights. Come on, we've got a lot more exploring left to do. Bagel shrugged silently, and we headed back to the stairs. With Kid in the lead, we headed downstairs. Is this seriously the whole game? Like, I was totally... I've played Chrono Cross before. Like, why is this so different? Anyway. I need to take a break real quick. There's too much reading. All this speaking out loud just really exhausts me. I'll be right back. Alright, why am I dropping so many frames? I mean, you think this game would be easy to run. Alright, well. We went down the stairs and continued straight ahead, eventually coming across a sturdy-looking door on our right. Corridor continues further on back toward the terrace. I think we're gonna check every room. Let's go inside. Nope. This is it. Oh yeah, this is that same one. Alright, can't get in there yet. Rock and I can handle a key hunt, especially if it's the idiot Lynx who's hidden it. If we can find this room, I'll sniff it out in 2 seconds flat. You just watch. There was little more we could do here, so we decided to look elsewhere. Continue on. The door on our left. Corridor continued on back toward the terrace. We've been in this room, right? Yeah, we go. Continue on. Go out in the terrace. Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. And then. Alright, let's talk. Alright, Serge. You're finally starting to learn how to get your hands dirty, ain't ya? Guess people really can change if they put in the effort. Kid's eyes shone with an impish playfulness. Well, she hadn't seen anything yet. We should go back inside. We're not here for fun, muttered Magel. Well, he said that, but I talked to him anyway. You seem to be hurt. Don't push yourself. If I wasn't careful from here on out, I was going to be in serious danger. Right. Dust yourself off, and let's get moving. We've got work to do, said Kid. Well, she said that, but we went back into the manor. Now we'll go left. We went right before, we'll go left. Go to the left. Took the corridor leading from the left-hand side of the terrace, eventually arriving at the intersection with some stairs. Path to the right led down the stairs. Path to the left was a dark side passage. The main corridor continued straight onward. Ooh. What did we do? Take the side passage. So many choices. I'm not good with choices. So we go to the side passage. We headed down the side passage. At the end of it, we came to an old, immaculately polished door. Let's go inside. Kid gently pushed the door ajar and peeked into the room. The next thing I knew, she'd slipped inside. Angela and I followed. Looks like a study. The room was lit by the moonlight coming in through a long, slender window, slanting down in pale beams through the darkness. It was pretty big for a study, with an immaculate antique desk dominating the center. There were rolls of bookshelves lined with thick, dusty old tomes. The wall to the rear of the room was decorated with paintings and shelves of vases, painted plates stood before it. They all seemed to be Kuros from foreign lands. Check the desks first. I went over to the desk and started searching the drawers. There I found a nearly arranged set of pens, ink bottles, and other writing materials. Nothing of interest, in other words. A small portrait on the desk caught my eye. There was a picture of a young girl with a gentle smile on her lips. Who was she? That's the girl Lynx adopted. If you ask me, it wasn't because he was looking to help the needy. Kid peering over her shoulder. She wrinkled her nose in distance. Not even a looker. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. It wasn't a loud knock, but in the bottomless silence of the night, it might as well have been a thunderclap. And I stood bolt upright and turned toward it. Maggle, meanwhile, hid in the shadows, drifting away like smoke. Panicked, I whispered to Kid. Behind the door in the shadows, or hide under the desk. Well, probably be better if we just went under the desk, because we're right there, right? Alright, we're hiding under the desk. You what? There's no time. I shoved Kid under the desk, then darted under it with her. Oof. It was more cramped than I thought it would be. I packed myself in the best I could. Kid and I found ourselves in an awkward tangle of legs and arms. Slowly the door opened. Flickering candlelight spread from the doorway. With a warm glow, a shadowy figure appeared at the threshold. I tried to pack myself into the space under the desk just a little tighter and stilled my breath. I looked down for a moment and my heart skipped a beat. Kid's lips were right there. Oh, Jesus. For a moment, everything else seemed to drift away. The pink bow of her mouth was so soft, so perfectly formed. Suddenly, my heart was beating so loud, I thought my chest would burst. I tore my eyes away and squeezed them tightly shut. But it seemed that whoever it was didn't mean to come in. They simply stood there. Strange, I thought I heard something. But the lord of the manor is away, of course. Why would there be anyone in here? I have to get over my nerves that everything was fine until we heard the news that Poirier was on the move. The figure quietly closed the door, plunging the room back into darkness. The voice trailed off to a whisper. We remained motionless, keeping our ears pricked for the sign of an unwelcome return. All we heard were footsteps moving away. As I stayed hidden, listening for trouble, the thought began to cross my mind. Kid. Sure does smell nice. Oi, Serge. You gonna move your arse or what? She whispered into my ear, her breath tickling as she spoke. Sorry. I rushed to my feet in a panic, smacking my head right into the top of the desk. Ow. Cradling my head with my hands, I crawled out from underneath. Oh, that stings. Kid followed right after and stood up, looking down at me on the floor. Not her most heroic moment. You alright? Yeah, I'll live. She took a look around the room. No sign of that dirtbag Lynx. Lucky for him, he snorted. So, Poirier had made its move. Nigel emerged from the shadows, contemplating the news we'd overheard. Kid. If the rumors are true, we might as well be out to find ourselves a very difficult situation, or in a difficult situation. This seemed to set her thinking too. For it was a powerful nation that ruled the southern continent. I'd heard it was a prosperous land whose recent sudden development had pushed it far ahead of the neighbors, which made me wonder, what would its inhabitants want here out in the sticks? They couldn't be after the frozen flame too, could they? Valuable as it might be, a jewel was just a jewel in the grand scheme of things. Couldn't imagine it being an item of national interest. I mean, ultimately, it was just a pretty rock, right? Let them do what they want. If everyone's busy playing soldier, they won't be bothering us. She headed for the door. Just turn that down slightly. We left the room and made our way back down the side passage. Eventually, we arrived back at the intersection. Stairs went downward, first left and right. Alright, so let's go left. Continued onward past where the stairs and the side passes emerged into the main corridor. Found ourselves in front of some ornate double doors. Go inside, of course. Kid gently pushed the heavy doors open and peeked inside. Doesn't look like anyone's in there. Seemed to be the main hall of the manor. There was a massive table, beautiful decorations on the walls and thick columns decorated with sculptures of birds and beasts. Fixed to the wall in the back towered a tremendous pipe organ like a burnished black mountain. Alright. We'll keep going a little bit. But I have half a mind to switch to the original Chrono Cross. We'll keep going. Dozens of candles provided a dim, flickering light, sending the corners of the room dancing in and out of shadow. I think this would probably mean more to me if I'd played, the original first. Then some of these characters might mean something. But what I'm worried about is how do I save this? I don't want to lose my progress. Oh, shit. Okay. Fuck it, let's get out of here. There we go. What was the start of all this? When did the cogs of fate begin to turn? Perhaps it's impossible to grasp the answer now, from deep within the flow of time. Sure. I think Surge is a really dumb name. No. How did I do that? What the fuck? Fuck. Why is this so hard? Jesus Christ. What is it, Bettino? You look troubled. This is it. There's no turning back now. Boy, come on, Bettino. Orcha. Just you wait, Lynx. Today's gonna be the day of reckoning. Say your prayers. Not that it'll do you any good. You know. What's that? Crystal-like thing. Some kind of switch. Bugger. So close and yet so far. Okay. Well, that's fun. Oh, I remember this. Na, 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 na. I think we're good. What spoils did we find? Oh. I don't quite understand the attack system, but do 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 do. I think we're good. that not what we're supposed to do? I have to fight this guy? What the bloody hell just happened? What are we doing out here? Wow, bugger. We're so high up. Is this thing floating? Did it feel like your body passed through the floor just now? This sure is some fort. Hey, Patino. You alright, mate? You've been acting all weird. We don't know what's up ahead, so just stay on your toes, yeah? Good morning. Come on, sleepyhead, get up. Good morning. You're finally up. The sun's already reached high noon. By the way, didn't you have plans to meet with Lena this morning? Lena came by to see if you were up. But you, young man, were still off in Never Never Land. You shouldn't break promises like that. Girls can be pretty scary if you make them angry. Okay. Alright. Meow. 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 Patinoy. Check out this sawfish. I like how they did that. They changed your name. Awesome, ain't it? Poppy caught it down south by the El Nido Triangle. Nobody likes going down there, though. They all say it's creepy. This sucker sure looks tasty, huh? Yo, what do you think of this sawfish? Have you ever seen one this size? This has got to be from the legendary Dragon King Palace. Wouldn't you agree? You might be right. I think so too. I knew it. I just knew it. If it really is true, then from here on out, happiness will be rolling into my life. Business will pick up. Money will start pouring in. I'll be able to repair my roof, varnish my boat, buy a new sail, eat as much squid gut pasta as I want here in Termina. Ah, life is good. Yeah, right, who am I kidding? That would definitely be too good to be true. But thanks anyway. Thanks for playing along. Here's a little something for you. Give it to a girl you like. Tina received the Komodo scale without lifting a finger. Wish the legend was true though, the Dragon King Palace. There aren't enough dreams out there lately. Hello, beautiful day, isn't it? Sure feels great outside. Just being able to bask in the sun all day sure is a nice change. They say the rain cleanses one's spirit, but at our age we had enough cleansing. I remember this now. Well, this part anyway. Why hello there, Bettino. Can I interest you in something? I have some great elements. Would you like to take a look? Show me your weapons and armor. Sure. So I got 100. So I should probably learn this, eh? Let's go ahead and spend our money on cure. Let me buy it. Hello. Do you want to hear about the real truth about the world? Insanity leads to chaos, and the solitude, the fruitless effort of adding meaning to what is meaningless. A lone crimson tear falls to the sea. The echo of the remaining star cries out in an infinite vacuum. The least I can do is send my distant prayers over the wind of time, setting sails on dreams. Well, how'd you like it? Were you moved? I've been dreaming about becoming a poet since I was little. I want to cross the continent and make a name for myself with just a pencil and paper. Look at me. I'm in this puny village in the middle of nowhere, waitressing in this rundown shack. What you say about my restaurant? You can quit anytime, you know. Just kidding. I was just kidding. I was just saying how good the work environment is. What was that purple? Isn't my Celine cute? Daddy found her by Lizard Rock. A lot of baby Komodo dragons play out there. I guess it's kind of like their hangout. You know what, Patino-y? Don't tell anyone what I'm about to tell you, okay? It's a secret. Olo said he was going to get me some Komodo dragon scales. What should I do? Do you know about Lizard Rock, southwest of the village? I've heard that a mother Komodo dragon comes out every once in a while. I've told Kiki numerous times not to play there, but she never listens. I guess kids will be kids. I was lost in my thoughts there. Kiki's growing up so quickly. Sometimes I'm just amazed at how much she resembles her mother. Yeah, I guess my wife is like that too. She's been very much like her mother since as long as I can remember. I guess that demonstrates how life continues to live on through generations. It's been about 10 years since I became a fisherman. Back then I still had other aspirations, but I ended up succeeding my dad. I guess you can say that everything here represents 10 years of life. Lion, shark, sawfish, 6-horn, narwhals, you name it. They represent all my hard work and dedication. I love my job and I'm happy with my current lifestyle and all, but lately I get to thinking when I see Kiki about how I could have had a different future. What if I'd chosen a different path 10 years ago? Then I'd be living a completely different life than I am now. I'm not saying which one would have been better. I just wonder where the other path may have led me. As the longer you live, the more you wonder about another you that might have been. Boy, life sure is complex. Oh, hey, Patino, you want this? Here, take it. It's an amulet I made from a lion shark tooth 10 years ago when I decided to become a fisherman. I don't need it anymore. I have my wife and Kiki watching over me. Thanks. Oh. So I can't equip it? Okay. Why can't I save? What the fuck? When can I save this? Is this Lena? You're late, Patino. Sleeping in as usual, I suppose. Promise you'd go get some Komodo dragon scales for my necklace, remember? Since you were late, my mom asked me to babysit the kids. Whoa! Patino, Lena, look at me! Come on, you guys should join us. It feels usually good, or really good. Unlike the rest of you, we're not here to play. Don't swim out too far now. Okay, I gotcha. Kids sure have it easy. Remember when we were like that? Not a single care or worry in our minds. Wow, each day lasted an eternity, filled with newness, fun, and excitement. But the important thing now is not our childhood, but my Komodo scale necklace. Yes, we have to face up to reality and live each day anew. So I want you to go to Lizard Rock and get some scales for me. I would join ya, but I have to watch these kids. It's your fault you're late. Once you collected them, I'll catch up with you on El Paso Beach. that okay with you? Whatever. Good. That's what I want to hear. And just stand around, go collect some scales at Lizard Rock. I think 3 should be enough. Can I save now? Nope. I have one. Damn it, I keep doing that. Can I save now? Oh, you know, how goes it? How would you like to join everyone for my lecture? Today's lecture is the fundamentals of attack and the art of elements. Yeah, sure, why not? True man you are. Well then, let's get on with it. Don't hold back. First, here's some basic advice on attacking, so listen up. You know that the 3 different attack levels, weak, strong, and fierce. Each hit have different accuracy. The hit values thrown to you. Every time you hit your opponent, each of these values increase. The next attack to hit is marked. You start with weak blows, have the highest chance, and then build up to the strong and fierce blows. Got it. Rather than attacking willy-nilly, you should aim to build up your hit percentage. If your fierce attacks don't hit home, you're just wasting your energy. Not even close. Well, it's not 100, you still are the risk of missing. Hey there, hurry up and turn on the field effects with blue. So you got to choose attack. Yeah, I'm pretty lost. But whatever, I get it. Alright, let's go. Yeah, it's pretty hard, huh? You're still so young. Come again anytime. I don't get it. Why can't I save? I want to load shit up. I haven't saved it. Oh. No, it hasn't been easy. We go look for another one. I'm gonna be here for a while. Oh yeah, and if you want to get into the world map, you can save without a record of me. No. Let me use it. No. Stop telling me I know, let me use it. This is bullshit. Toma, the 14th. People usually put the Great Explorer in front of my name. Just looked around for treasure. Yo, I wasn't gardening. See ya. Hey, now I can save. Is this where I was supposed to go? What am I looking for? I need Komodo scales. Where would they be? This isn't nothing? We have to come back here later, maybe. Hey, didn't the village elders tell you not to come near here? Okay. Where's those scales at? There we go, lizard rock. You're not even in water, why are you swimming? Oh shit. I'm going to end it here. I'll let this sweet, sweet melody play us out. I hope everybody has a good rest of their day. And I'll be back tomorrow with something. Go live again. But that's a decision for tomorrow. So let's get rid of that nonsense. And yeah, see you tomorrow.